All right, I now call the March 4th, 2025 regular meeting of the City Council to order. Our invocation this evening is going to be given by Brian Nevins, Calvary Chapel of Northern Kentucky. Thank you.
If you would please join me in prayer. Our Lord and God, we come to you with all prayer and supplication with thanksgiving, in the promise that you give peace that passes understanding with the mind of Christ. So we thank you for your great provision. We thank you for a great place to live and for this privilege of gathering in self-government, recognizing the responsibilities and freedoms it carries. We thank you for the hope that comes with each new day. We ask that our city officials be protective of those precious and very expensive rights that have been guarded by brave men and women, that they take their responsibilities to the residents of our Friendship City with the gravity and wisdom they need and deserve without personal agendas or pursuits, that they be men and women of virtue, integrity, and with a heart of humble service. We rely on your promise that if any need wisdom, to simply ask, and you will give it generously. And so we pray wisdom for Mayor Fetty, for our city administrator, Mr. Glenn, and for this assembled council. We thank you for their service. In your grace, grant them wisdom and insight for the needs of our citizens and a single mission in their pursuits to meet them. Hold them, Lord, to a high standard of integrity, especially since you will judge them for every action. We pray for Chiefs Rader and Godsey and for all of our first responders, and we thank you for them also. We ask that you keep them safe as they work to keep us safe. We ask for your blessing upon them and their families, Father. Grant them personal peace in their lives and joy in their task. We pray for the agenda set before them today and throughout this coming year. Please give an assurance of what would please you and what would benefit those who live and work in and around our beloved city. Let us not in arrogance think that we will do this or that in the coming year, but only as you will it. And we ask all these things in the most blessed name of Jesus. Amen.
Please rise for the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, I'll ask Mrs. Hoffman to take roll, please.
Mr. Cahill.
Present.
Mr. Farmer.
Present.
Ms. Fields.
Present.
Mr. Hermes.
Here.
Ms. Jasper Lucas.
Here.
Ms. Nicely.
Present.
Ms. Reckers.
Here.
Ms. Skidmore.
Here.
Ms. Wilson.
Here.
All right, thank you. All right, you've received a copy of the minutes from the February 4th, 2025 regular council meeting. Are there any additions or corrections to be made at this time? Seeing none, I'll entertain a motion that we adopt as presented. Ms. Reckers? Mr. Farmer? Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? All right, motion carried. You've also received a copy of this evening's agenda. Are there any additions to be made at this time? Okay, seeing none, I'll entertain a motion that we adopt as presented. Ms. Reckers? Ms. Wilson? Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? All right, motion carried. All right, our first special presentation this evening is our business spotlight, and we have the lovely people from La Hacienda today. And I've been a patron of your store, and it's awesome. It's so absolutely incredible. The produce department, beautiful. All right. I think Mark is going to take over.
Yep. Thank you, Mayor, and welcome to the La Hacienda team. Before I introduce everybody to the council and the folks in the audience here, I also want to echo what Mayor Fetty said. The produce is so fresh. The meat counter, their restaurant inside of the grocery store as well is incredible. So kudos, a welcome addition to Erlanger. We're very happy that you're here. I do want to introduce some of the folks of the La Hacienda team. They are here today. We have the Gutierrez family. If I say your name, please say hi to council and the mayor and the staff. Daniela, Syra, Maria Elena, Mauricio Jr., Ruben, and Ricardo. Is that everybody? Wonderful. So I'm going to tee up the business spotlight video. Our team did this on your behalf. We will send this video file to you after the meeting, and hopefully hundreds and thousands of people will get to understand how great you guys are as a business. Give me 1 second here. Okay.
When you leave your country, you come into a place that you don't know, a language that you don't know. It's very hard. It weighs on you. And so to have a little piece, even if it's just like a candy that you hadn't seen in years, you know, that you used to buy in Mexico, having that just gives people so much joy.
We've been through a lot of ups and downs, but as I've said to everyone, nothing good comes about if it's easy. So this is a big pride and joy. It's made with a lot of love. It's un pedacito de tu país, which is a bit of home, which is what we want everyone to feel like when they come in, that they find something from home, they feel like that they are home. But as a sister and a family member as part of this, I've been very happy about the outcome and how much the community has embraced us.
Even though we're family, we've come to appreciate each other more because we are starting to know more of, for example, what my dad knows and appreciate all the work he's done. You know, they were able to bring us from nothing and you know, raised us and gave us everything we needed, and then now they, you know, helped us establish all this. And it's just incredible because they, you know, they tell us about their journey and everything that they've been through, and sometimes it's hard to believe that, you know, you just, like how you see a hero, that's how I see my parents.
And they are the embodiment of the American dream. This is what it's about. You start from the bottom, and you struggle, and you work towards a better life, and this is what you get. You get something good that not only benefits your family, but you're contributing to the community that has come to embrace you.
Daniela, you're the person that I always speak with. Did you want to say a few words? Press that button, Daniela.
This one? Can you hear me now? Hi, everyone. My name is Daniela. On behalf of my family and everyone at La Hacienda Supermarket, I want to express our deepest gratitude for this moment. Opening this business has been a journey filled with a lot of hard work, long nights, and even a few tears. But standing here today, being welcomed so warmly by this community makes everything worth it. La Hacienda is more than just a business, it's our family's dream come to life. We built this supermarket with love, determination, and the hope of bringing a little piece of home to everyone who walks through our doors. You know, whether it's a taste of familiar flavors, a warm smile, or at the register, a place where families gather over a meal, our goal will always be to serve with heart. One of the most meaningful experiences have been welcoming our city's first responders so our police and firefighters into our restaurant. Their visit reminds us that we are not just running, a business. We're becoming part of something bigger, a community that looks out for one another. Thank you again for embracing us, and as part of your city. And we're honored to serve you, and look forward to many more years of growing together. And gracias de todo corazón. Thank you from the heart.
Thank you. I also want to give a shout out to Brandon. He's just doing such a fantastic job with the pocket documentaries and capturing those special moments of being a business owner. So thank you for participating. All right. Our next special presentation is at the oath of office for Kiana today.
Good evening, Mayor, Council, and guests. Tonight, we will be doing the oath of office for Lieutenant Sherman, who will be going to Red Shift.
You'll say your name after I say aye. Okay. I do solemnly swear to do my duty as a fire EMS shift lieutenant for the city of Erlanger to the best of my ability, to serve my commanding officers with respect and dignity, and to serve the citizens of the city of Erlanger with compassion, courage, and integrity, and to uphold the laws and constitutions of the United States of America, the Commonwealth of Kentucky, and the city of Erlanger. So help me God. Congratulations. Okay, there are no comments from the public. Mayor's report, I just wanted to congratulate the city of Erlanger on our third achievement of the Becoming a Tree City USA. So we just received the documentation today, right, Sherry? Yes. So we've been recognized from the Arbor Day Foundation, third year in a row. So, great job, guys. So thank you. Yes. Kevin Quinn and his incredible team going out of their way to make sure that our city is recognized for the work that we do. So thank you. All right, City Administrator's Report. Mr. Glenn.
All right, thank you, Mayor. I have several things today, unfortunately, for you all. Okay, first thing, I passed out the proposed, I apologize for that. Okay, so we talked maybe a month ago or so about the upcoming budget schedule, and Rebecca would like to have an opportunity, or she wanted to have an opportunity to kind of talk about it today, and I wanted to kind of revise it according to what I was hearing from everybody. So what you see before you, everybody got a copy of the new proposed schedule, and what I did in blue, so the blue is changes. So what we want to do, or what we're proposing to do, is on April 25th, get the mayor's budget out to all council members, and that's a week prior to what we were going to do before. And the reason we're wanting to do this is to give us good gaps for review on you all's end between us getting you information and then have to do something with it. So on that Friday, the 25th, all the mayor's proposed budget goes out to everybody. Then on May 8th, we wanted all the department heads, everybody wanted the department heads to present their specific budgets to everybody. And so the mayor's budget will be presented on May 8th. So that gives everybody from the 25th of April, the following week, and then another almost half a week to review the budget before they hear from department heads and the mayor. Then after that, you have another week and a half or so, the week of May 19th through the 23rd, the budget ad hoc meeting, which wasn't part of the old schedule, so we brought that back, and that would be just scheduled at the chairperson's discretion, so that week could be the budget ad hoc meeting. And then followed up with that will be another week and a half to the May 30th when everything would be finalized and then sent back out to council on that Friday. The following Tuesday will be the first reading of June the 3rd, with the second reading being, that would be a council meeting, and then the second reading will be at a caucus meeting or a special meeting. Thank you, Sherry, and that would be on June 17th. So with that, does anybody have any questions or comments? Yes.
Yeah, I have a comment. I see that there's the middle of the business day on the 8th as the proposed presentation for the mayor's budget with department heads. I'd much prefer that to be in the evening, like a standard council meeting. It's not conducive to most of council. Municipal government, it's pretty standard to have evening meetings. I'd like to propose having it around 5 o'clock, 5:30 in the evening. I'm fine with the 8th, it's a Thursday, versus having it on a Saturday and doing like a boot camp concept. But I'd much prefer to not have it be in the middle of the workday.
You know, and what we're trying to do, I'm trying to balance 20 different people and their needs. You know, staff not wanting to be in the evenings, they want to go home with their families per se, and you know, so that's where that came from. We thought we'd do a nice presentation. We had it on that evening with going through it line by line, and that would be an option as well. Yes. Well,
so was the goal to not have council members there? Because 7 of 9 of us work full-time.
that would never be the goal.
Okay, well, if the purpose of that meeting is to present to council, I would think that you would have asked council beforehand if we were available as well. I completely respect, you know, people having other things going on, and I realize that it's a lot of different people to work with, but having it in the middle of a workday when 7 of 9 of us have full-time jobs that are I'm guessing all of us have 8 to 5, pretty standard hours. I would have to take a day off of work for that, and I don't know if my work schedule is conducive to that either. So as Ms. Recker said, you know, our meetings are all in the evening, so we do have availability then. It just seems very strange that that if the presentation is to be made to council, that council wasn't asked about having it during the day beforehand.
That's what we're doing right now.
Well, we weren't. We were handed this and told that's when it was going to be.
For discussion.
Oh, okay. I didn't understand that.
Yeah.
When you were talking, you said that's when we're having the meeting. So I didn't.
That's when I proposed it.
Okay. So as Ms. Recker said, we're proposing having it in the evening at 5 p.m. that day.
And would you be opposed to a line-by-line review of the budget as we proposed originally?
Would I be opposed to that, or I don't think we've ever asked for that. We asked for department heads to give an overview of their budget and their request.
I'm sorry, I don't know.
No, I mean, a standard budget presentation would be sufficient. We've got mostly veterans on council. If a line-by-line review of the budget would be, you know, desired, I think that additional time could be set up. We had originally talked about that. There was two sessions originally scheduled for that. the majority of council, I don't think I don't think that's necessary. I would think just the standard presentation, like we've done for the last at least 6 years of me being on council and that other folks, I'm not meaning to speak in any way for all of us, but I think a standard budget presentation, talking about big ticket needs, areas where more is being requested year over year, the standard protocol would be appreciated.
Maybe we could just do a straw poll if what councils would prefer midday versus evening.
An evening starting at 5? Or what time?
I don't need to be served dinner to hear a budget presentation, but, so, I mean, if we're going to have it at 5, it might be nice to include dinner just because that is about the time that we eat dinner, but we have meetings at 5 all the time where we don't serve dinner, so I don't think that's required.
Do you think we could do it like maybe 4 o'clock or even 3:30, where it's not necessarily a day off, but leaving early? Well, I'm trying to be sensitive to what Peter's saying about trying to have staff here one extra night.
I mean, council or staff now doesn't have to come 24 times a year, so, with the exception of, the executive function, right? So one night asking staff to be here, I don't think is a huge lift for municipal government.
That could be looked at both directions. One day to be off work to come to a budget presentation isn't a huge ask. Yeah.
Should we take a vote to have department heads here every meeting? I mean,
I don't think that would be within the purview of council.
that was said in jest.
I have to agree. It feels like this was done on purpose, and I'm really not trying to make it look that way. However, we are paid very minimal to come here because it's a minimal job on when you're asking us to be here. They are paid salary, and we have given them back a lot of their evenings. It is expected with the normal department heads meeting that they are to come to council and talk to us. This is the first time I've ever even heard of this being done through the middle of the week. So it does kind of feel like you're asking us to give additional funds, because if we have to take a vacation day to come in, that costs us money. And you don't even pay us enough to cover the vacation time that you would be asking us to take. So if somebody has to take it on one side or the other, it should be a salaried employee.
But done on purpose for what purpose? I don't know if I know what purpose you're saying it was done under.
So that we can't be here.
Absolutely not. We want everybody to be here. The original proposal was to stay late and to be here 2 nights. So I'm just trying to wade through the waters, and just figure out, and you got to realize I got other people that I'm thinking about other than council as well. So, and this is not set in stone. It never was. It didn't need a pre-meeting. It needed this meeting. This is the initial discussions to talk about, hey, this is what we have. So, we're not trying to pull anything over on anybody. Here you go, just take it and make a comment. And then I went back and listened to what people said and made changes and didn't hit the mark apparently, but we're trying, but it's not malicious in trying to get people not to show up for a budget meeting. My intention is to have everybody here super engaged, and that would be a great day for us and the staff. That's what we want. I don't know who was first. Who?
I think 5 o'clock is fair. Do we want to do a straw poll for the 8th at 5 p.m.?
Say that again.
Can we just do the day before, the 7th? It's a Wednesday instead. 20, the May 7th, just the day before.
Wednesday?
Yeah.
Staff has 60 days to make that work.
I mean, I like the fact of trying to keep it in that week. I think that gives.
That's fine. I'm fine with the 7th.
Michael, you know, I just, so how about the 7th at the time you proposed?
5 p.m., 7th, Strawful.
Can you make the 7th work, Renee?
We're all good. Okay, now hold on a second. Let me write. Sometimes I don't get this down. Okay, May 7th. And I'm sorry, you said at 5 p.m. And I think Jennifer said that she wanted La Rosa's Pizza here. Sorry, that was just a little levity. How about, does everything else look good with that schedule? Yes.
Ad hoc meeting would be TBD.
Yes.
Just kind of based
Whenever-
on, yeah,
whenever.
I'm thrilled that I love that we've been getting the budgets earlier than the budget boot camp, because, for 4 of the 6 years, we would get it the day of. So it's been better every year with regard to getting that information in advance. So a TBD on when this would be, as long as it doesn't have to be set in stone today.
It don't have to be set in stone.
Okay.
Does not. That'll be at your discretion.
Cool.
I mean,
Sounds good.
you're the chairperson of that group?
Yeah.
Or maybe, whatever,
Yeah.
whoever is, just. pick
Depending
the
on
date.
what day, yeah.
And just let us know so Sherry can get it advertised, and we'll take care of it from there.
Groovy. We got time. Thank you so much.
Okay. Still up the bat, so. That's good, we got that behind us. Okay, Depot Museum. So we got an event coming up, and I'm going to ask Sherry to kind of give us the details on that. It's going to be a fun event here in the next couple months.
So the history museums across Northern Kentucky are getting together and participating in what's going to be called the Northern Kentucky History Weekend. It is May 16th through the 18th, and Ludlow's museum is they're kind of heading up the project, and they're trying to get the museums to commit to certain timeframes. So right now, they don't have anybody for Friday night, but for Saturday, May 17th, in the morning, it's going to be at Behringer Crawford Museum. In the afternoon, it's Ludlow. In the evening, it's going to be here at Erlanger's Museum. And then Sunday morning will be at Fort Thomas. And then they have a couple of them open in the afternoon on Sunday for some other museums. And so what they're hoping is that people will take time during the weekend and kind of just visit each of the museums to see what's going on in their museums. So SAB is working on right now what we're going to do. I know there's going to be refreshments, but on Saturday evening, it's going to be from 5 to 7.
Okay, thank you, Sherry. I have been alerted that I can turn my volume down, so that might be helpful. Okay, the next item that I have is our City Night Out events. So those who were around at the last budget process and then the new council people. So what we're looking to do is in June, July, and August, do what's called a City Night Out. So we go out, we set up our tables, our grills, tents. We have staff and our elected officials attend. We go out into the community. We ask the residents to come out. It's a great opportunity for them to meet their elected officials and city staff, get a hamburger, ask any questions they have about projects specific or philosophies or anything they might have on their mind citywide. And so we're going to do that on the night of council meetings. So, and what that'll do is it'll be like from 5 to 7 leading up to a council meeting, and then council can just leave a little early, so we're back here by 7, and that'll be June 3rd, and we're going to do that one at the Depot. June 3rd, yes, sir. July 1st at Cahill Commons. I can't hear, sorry.
Where was the June 3rd?
Oh, I'm sorry. Depot Park. And then August the 5th, Flagship Park. And what we'll do is Mark will do a fantastic job, I'm sure, at getting the word out to everybody and letting everybody in those neighborhoods know that what we're doing and inviting them. Yeah, Chris.
When did you say the July one was?
July 1st. The last thing I have is I'd like to put something on the March's caucus meeting, which would be our code of ethics policy. So we're looking to make a change to our code of ethics gift dollar amount, and that needs to come before council. So I'd like the opportunity later this month to kind of talk about what we're proposing and why, our philosophy behind it, so that way you're all aware of it, and then that'll have to come before you at the April council meeting. And that's all I have. Thank you, Mayor.
All right, Mr. Gatlin?
Yeah, real briefly, Mayor. So periodically, every 3 months, we kind of get together with code enforcement, Jen and myself, to kind of look at people who owe either code enforcement liens or delinquent taxes. Normally, there haven't been a whole lot. The city's been pretty good. This last meeting, about a month or two ago, there were actually 11 properties that we filed foreclosure on. And if this council recalls, we set a threshold several years back that anything over $3,000 staff would look at and in certain circumstances would file foreclosure, not necessarily to get the property back, but to get the people in compliance with whatever the code enforcement issues are and to repay the city for whatever their out-of-pocket would be, right? So maybe there's grass cutting fees, maybe there's, direct out-of-pocket. So we absolutely had a huge ramp up this last meeting, probably the most I've seen in years, and I'm seeing it in a lot of cities. Foreclosures are higher than ever, bankruptcies are higher than ever. But the good news is, of those 11 we filed, already about half of them are either in compliance or have made payment or payment arrangements. So the process is working, I guess, is all I'm saying. That's all I have to report, Mayor.
Very good. Thank you. Legislative update, Mr. Collier.
Thank you, Mayor. Council, I provided an update via memo on some of the bills that we've been watching as a staff level. KLC, KCO is also helping us sort of navigate what we need to pay attention to. And mainly so far, we've been playing defense. There are some bills from a city perspective that perhaps are not very advantageous at the city level. So 4 bills that I want to highlight in the key takeaways. The centralized collection of occupational tax, which we did talk about at the last meeting. That bill is not moving currently, so we're not going to go so far to say it's dead, but you'll see the schedule. The legislative schedule has the final legislative days is March 27th and 28th, so we will pop a bottle, so to speak, on those days when it gavels out. SD1, there was a bill that sort of hit last week unexpectedly, House Bill 85, which sought to prevent SD1 from charging a stormwater fee to residents who don't receive public sewer service. That bill is also not moving, so there was some noise that was made in the General Assembly, and staff got wind of it. We sort of locked arms with the rest of the cities and the counties, and that bill has been killed or as close to it as possible. Short-term rental and housing legislation, that was a problematic bill from a city perspective. That was introduced into the local House Government Committee today. Representative Doan sits on that committee, and that bill was stopped today. Representative Doan did vote no on that, so we did lobby a little bit on that. And then finally, the one that sort of has legs still is House Bill 173, and that addresses rental registries and zoning concerns. That is problematic because that takes away local control. They are trying to essentially codify zoning regulations statewide, where we feel like at a local level we should be able to control that a little bit more. So that's probably one of the bills that is not quite yet dead, that we're going to continue to keep our ear to the ground on. If there's anything else that you guys are hearing, all ears and eyes and brains collectively is better than mine, so please reach out if you hear anything. Mayor, that's all I have.
Thank you. All right, Mr. Glenn, are there any other special reports from department heads? No. Okay. All right. Any task force updates this evening? Okay. Mr. Hermes.
Yeah, I'll just say really quickly that we had a Parks Task Force meeting this evening at 5 o'clock, and we discussed some of the work going on in the Depot Park, the Sherborne Park, as well as a proposed budget for the next fiscal year. And the next meeting of that task force will be April 1st at 5 o'clock here at the City Building.
All right, thank you. All right, Mr. Glenn, you have quite a few bids to talk about.
Okay, we'll talk about some projects and some bids that we had open. I think everybody's aware of the Narrows Road Bridge project that we have that's ongoing. So we opened bids for that 2 months ago. And Hinkle Construction was the low bid at $649,500. And so since then, we have been working with a couple different funding agencies that we have reached out to. So in the beginning, we had this project budgeted for $600,000 that you all approved out of our capital project or capital budget. We had MARF funding. They committed to $100,000 of emergency funding for this bridge that we have since received $50,000 of. And then Jack and myself, we worked with SD1, who has been a great partner on this project. So we reached out to them because this bridge services their pump station primarily. And so they really stepped up to the plate and was a great partner with them. And then we entered into an agreement this past month with SD1 where they'll pay $178,000 of this project and then a dollar for dollar match with the city on any contingency money up to an additional $30,000 from them. So they're all in at $238,000, which was very welcomed from the city's standpoint. And that project is underway as we speak. Actually, as of maybe today, the state has come out and they have closed the bridge completely. So it's an even more dire need of replacement. So they found some other issues. So, and of course, we're working with SD1 closely on their maintenance side of things and making sure they're well aware of what's going on and everything. So anyway, that project is going.
Hey, Peter, with that SD1, do they need access during that time frame? Do we need to cut something for them, or?
Yeah. So all that has been taken care of through the planning stage of it, how to keep them in water and access and everything like that, because it's going to be kind of a lengthy project.
Yeah, I just know they like to raise prices, and if they have an opportunity.
It will result in any. Okay, so a couple bids that we had this past month, which would be Bright Leaf Boulevard and Narrows Road Sidewalk Phase 1. And Straight Edge Construction was the low bidder at $134,385. So that is within budget, and Public Works is moving forward with that. And you'll see the sidewalk improvements going on here very shortly. MacArthur Lane asphalt improvements was just a mill and overlay, a simple mill and overlay of MacArthur. And Naira Paving was low bidder at $23,154. Again, planned and budgeted for and within budget. And the last project that we had bid opening on was Borderlands and Park Place asphalt improvements. And that low bidder was Rigler Asphalt or Blacktop at $166,453,000. Again, within budget. Any questions on the bid openings? Okay, thank you.
All right. Is there any unfinished business? Okay, any new business? Ms. Wilson?
I would like to thank all who participated in to make our Black History Month Heritage Day, which was held in Ellesmere on Garvey Street. Our fine firefighters came out to help serve and to hand out the fresh produce. And we had quite a troop of firefighters to come out to help to do that. And I want to let them know that we are greatly appreciative of them coming out and supporting a good cause. I also would like to invite everyone to come out for an Easter egg hunt that we're going to have on the 19th between 12 and 2 p.m. And we'll have snacks and prizes, and all ages are welcome. Please bring your children to come out and enjoy this event. This will be held at 1007 Garvey Avenue at First Baptist Church in Ellesmere. We also are going to have another free store food bank drive on the 8th at Emmanuel Church, and that's 1140 Boone Air Road in Florence, Kentucky. And on the 11th at 2 p.m. at Florence Christian Church, and that's 300 Main Street in Florence, Kentucky. And anyone who is in need of these fresh produce to contact Deacon Larry and Deaconess Serena on if you cannot make it to the distribution but are in need of a basket. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Legislation? Mr. Gatlin?
Yes, Mayor, this is a municipal order of the City of Erlanger in Kenton County, Kentucky, making the written determinations required by KRS 82083 for the sale or other disposition of property owned by the city. As you can see in the attached worksheet, it states multiple items that are being surplused: a 2012 Dodge Charger, a 2018 Dodge Charger, a 2016 Dodge Charger. The reason for disposal is age and condition, as well as faulty and excessive repair on the second one, all sold by electronic auction. And then there's quite a few bunker coats from Fire EMS, which are all being donated to other governmental agencies.
All right, do I entertain a motion that we adopt this municipal order as read? Ms. Reckers? Mr. Cahill? Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Opposed? All right, motion carried. All right. Thank you. All right, are there any other announcements this evening? Ms. Nicely?
Thank you, Mayor Fetty. I just wanted to remind the families of Tishner Middle School School Aid will be hosting a Tishner Middle School Multicultural Olympics this Thursday, March 6, 5:30 to 7:30 p.m. There will be free pizza and prizes. Families will get a chance to learn about different cultures, play games, make crafts, participate in African drumming, and more. Any questions, contact Amber Mason, the Youth Service Center Coordinator at Tishner. Thank you.
All right, do I entertain a motion that we adjourn? Mr. Hearn, oh, do you? Go for it.
I'll be brief, I swear. If you haven't already, make sure that you wish Renee Skidmore a happy birthday. Today's her birthday.
Do we want to sing? Okay. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Renee. Happy birthday to you. All right. Any other announcements? All right. Do I entertain a motion that we adjourn? Ms. Reckers, Ms. Skidmore, any discussion? All in favor say aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Have a good evening.